Hey, I'm Bob. Welcome back to Golf League Tracker. In this video, we're going to talk about an individual player league where a player leaves the league and they're being replaced by a new player. I'm going to show you how to do that, how it looks in the standings and the schedule, all that good stuff. Also, if you're a two-player team league, click on the video up here and I talk about specifically replacing players in a team situation. So let's give a little overview of what I've got going here. I've got a individual player league with 16 players. We've played a couple rounds already, and we'll take a look at the league standings. We're through round number 2. And after the second round, our dear player Ramon has decided to leave the league, and we're going to replace him with a new player. All right? So take note that after 2 rounds, Ramon has accrued 27 points for the season. All right, so how do we do this? What we're going to do is go to Administration, League Setup, and Player List. And we can either enter a new player if they don't already exist, or in this case, I'm going to go to Substitutes, and I am going to put David Duval in for him. And David's going to go from our sub to a regular player. So I'm going to hit Edit. And then I am going to change David to a regular player. And then hit Save. And then I'll go to Regular Players. And now you can see at the top of the screen I have 17 regular players entered. And I'm set up for 16. So okay, that's good. So now what I'm going to do is tell the system, hey, as of round 3, that's when David's going to replace Ramon. So I'm going to go back to Administration, League Setup, Assign Player Numbers, Step 6. Now you've done this once. You've done this when you originally set up your league. And if we go to the drop down here, you'll note that as of round 1, the changes were set, right? Because you have to set that before anything else is done in your before setting the schedule, for instance. So this change is going to happen as of round 3. So I'm going to pick round 3. And then Ramon is player number 9. And I'm going to click on his name. And you'll notice David here at the end of the list. It's white because he has not been selected. He's not used. So I'm going to pick David. And it says, hey, the only reason to reassign someone is because someone's dropping out and you're replacing with a new player, okay? That's the only time you should reassign player numbers in an individual player league. So I'm going to hit yes. And one of the things I've seen is where league administrators change player numbers because they want to change the schedule up. That is not the correct way to do that. If you need to change the schedule, then go into the scheduling and change the matches for the schedule. Do not change player numbers. Do not change players and their player number assignment, except when someone drops out of the league or you're adding new players. All right? Because what ends up happening is that when you play for points, points are won and assigned to a player number. And that's how this whole thing is going to work, because when we go in here and save, David Duval, as of round 3, has inherited all the points won that player number 9 has won for the first 2 rounds. Okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Administration. I'm going to enter scores. And I'm going to go to round 3. And now one thing you're going to see is that David Duval is now on the player list, player number 9. I'm going to go and enter scores for round number 3, and then we'll come back and take a look at the standings. Okay, so I've gone and entered scores for a 3rd round. I've recorded the points. I have this league set up for players to establish handicap after just playing 1 round, and that's why I'm able to record the points for David here, because he got his handicap based on just the 1 round that he has played. So now when I go back to Stats and League Standings, so what you can see is that whatever points the previous player had won is inherited by the player that replaced them. And the reason it works this way is that if you just started a guy with 0 points after 2 weeks, he's not going to have any chance, right? So this is just a seamless way to add or replace a player as the season goes on. And then when you go and look at the schedule, we're going to see, round number one, Ramon is here, Ramon Batista. Round number two for the schedule also had Ramon right here. And then from round three and on, unless David Duval drops out and is replaced by another player, we're going to see that David is now in his spot and will appear in the schedule and the scorecards and the standings and everything from round three and on. Now, once you've gone and replaced the player, you can take the old player and we'll go to admin player list, and you can either make that player a substitute or you can change them to inactive and they're not seen by anybody else but you. So I'm going to edit Ramon. I'm going to turn him into a sub, and now we're back to 16 players for the league and we're good to go. All right, so I hope that helps and explains how to replace a player mid-season. If you have any questions about your league, don't hesitate to reach out. Support@golfleaguetracker.com, and we'll see you soon.